Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the BG Show. I am here to do an episode 2 spoiler review for She-Hulk. I just finished watching it. If you haven't seen it yet and want a non-spoiler review, go to my page, go to the bottom to the short section. I have a 60-second non-spoiler review to kind of prime you for the episode. But this is your spoiler warning, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm about to spoil. Here we go. Okay, I really like this episode. It's not hyperbole. I know a lot of people on YouTube, kind of pump up the MCU. They know that the MCU drives ratings, so they talk really well of the MCU. I'm not going to do that. I'm always going to be authentic. The first episode was pretty good. Okay, it kept me watching. This episode, though, was really good. I'll tell you why. The MCU tie-ins that this episode had felt like the early days of the MCU. People are talking about how this phase sucks, this phase isn't good. What they did with the Abomination, not only did they have him in the show, which we knew, but they're using him the correct way. It's been a long time since Hulk 1. Hulk 1 was the second movie in the MCU, 2008. They need to kind of start reeling in the Hulk. They've really ruined his character, but they need to start reeling in his story and his origin and his roots and start getting back to basics. He's been an ancillary character for so long, for over 10 years now, close to 12 years. So what they do is she gets a job at a law firm. Well, first, she gets fired. After the first episode, she gets fired from her job because basically she lost her case and she hulked out in the courtroom. Okay. So every law firm in New York City doesn't want to hire her because she's a distraction. Eventually, the law firm that she was going to beat before hulking out hires her because they realized how good she was. Okay. The catch is they want her to start the superhero division to defend superheroes or to defend villains since there's so many supervillains now. But the catch is she has to be in Hulk form throughout the movie. She has to be in Hulk form at work, in the courtroom at all times. I thought this was a really good, not spin, but a really good way to handle it. I thought it would have been weird if it was all just like, hunky dory at the law office with her in Hulk form. So I think it's good that they're showing how uncomfortable it is for her to be a Hulk. But going back to the Abomination, so this is what leads her to being the Abomination and Tim Roth's lawyer, which we knew in the trailer. But the smart thing they did was, first of all, have Tim Roth be the opening. You want Tim Roth to be the first thing you see. He hasn't been in the MCU since 2008. He's a very good actor. So start with Tim Roth. So that was the first good thing. The way they tied it into Hulk 1, though, was perfect because they had... so if you remember from Hulk 1, they're trying to take down the Hulk. He's kind of the leading commander, and they really give him the super soldier serum, or like a blend of it. And he kind of, he gets very strong and very fast, and he tries to take out the Hulk, and the Hulk punches him into the tree, and he basically breaks his back, and then they turn him into the Abomination. That's how he turns into the Abomination. So from his perspective, he's like, look, I was the good guy. I was in the military. They sent me in the suicide mission to take out the Hulk, who I thought was a bad guy. It turns out the Hulk was also a victim. And next thing I know, they turn me into the Abomination, and I'm in prison. But meanwhile, the Hulk is on the Avengers and a superhero. Like, what the hell is going on? And this is how you do it if you're the MCU. This is how you introduce new content. This is how you tie it to old content. And this is how you kind of give characters their arc. You have to make things make sense. And he makes a legitimate point if you're watching the Marvel movies. Why is the Abomination a bad guy? Other than, just writing in the script, why is he a bad guy and why is the Hulk a good guy? Why is the Hulk, who destroys cities, all of it, and they mention it, get to be forgiven but not the Abomination? So that was really smart. And then the thing that they even do even more so is at the end of the episode, they say, hey, check the news. Abomination broke out of prison. And you're like, oh, okay, that's expected. He double-crossed her. He's not actually a good guy. But the really smart thing, again, that they did was he didn't really break out of prison. Wong teleported him out of prison into Shang-Chi, where we saw him in the fight pit. So you're now starting to pay off dividends. If you're an invested MCU fan, you watch Shang-Chi, which not everyone has seen. You're now watching She-Hulk episode 2, and you're getting a tie-in, completely unexpected. These are the kind of beats that made the MCU what it is, tying things in, making a shared universe. So this show, I think, is really humming along at a nice pace. It was smart. This is why they didn't, deal on her origin story so much, because now they have more time. I believe it's 9 episodes, so they have 7 more to really finish this story. I think they got plenty of time. We still have Daredevil coming, which makes sense now because, you know, she needs some help on the ground level, both as a lawyer, but also from like the superhero perspective. They're really making her kind of, it seems like she's a street level, you know, because she's a lawyer, she's a street level hero, which we think of the Hulk as kind of like a more, you know, around the world. In some comic books, the Hulk can literally jump from I think from continent to continent he can jump. That's how powerful he is, just from jumping. So, I guess my only critique of the episode, as I've mentioned in my other reviews, is the CGI. I wish it was better. They're just not either donating enough time and or money. I don't know why they wouldn't delay the show 2 or 3 months to get the CGI right. I don't understand it, but yeah, it's not terrible, but it's mediocre. It's definitely mediocre. It looks better when it's zoomed in closer to her face. When you only see her face and not the rest of her body, it looks better. But when she's standing up, it looks like a video game. That's what it looks like. So unfortunately, that's the problem I have with that. But yeah, that's my spoiler review for episode 2. It was a very, very good episode. Let me know in the comments if you guys think I'm being hyperbolic or if you like it as well. Thanks for watching again. I have my non-spoiler review, other short form content, and my shorts. I'm also on TikTok, just BG Show. So go look out for that if you're on TikTok. And again, I'll be posting a lot more content. Thanks again if you guys have gotten this far in the video and you're watching and you're subscribing. Thanks again for supporting me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.